Hey everybody, I'm Brian with Ford Knox Company, and behind me is my 2017 MB Sports B52 Classic, and I wanted to go over the Bimini setup and show you guys actually how it goes together, some of the little pieces that you can adjust the tightness of it, and how I've organized it to where you can put it up and put it down all by yourself. So I'll show you guys how I do it by myself, and I would always recommend having somebody help you because it's a lot easier, a lot faster, but it is something that you can do by yourself. It's a very simple setup once you understand how it goes together. So it took us a couple tries to figure out exactly how it goes. One of the first things is that these Biminis actually go over the tower, and there's other boats that I've had where the Bimini sets up underneath the tower. So right there, you're gonna be a little bit backwards if you try to put this thing underneath and get it all set up. So I'll show you guys how this one goes together, and I believe they still do this same type of setup on all their boats right now as of 2021. But this is the 2017 setup, and we'll go over the whole entire thing, putting it together and taking it apart, and I'll show you guys how I do it. So jumping right into this, we're gonna undo the two buckles in the middle, unzip that cover, and then pull that cover down and just set it off to the side. You're gonna take this front piece, which kind of moves independently, and pull it over the top. This is key. Half the battle's already been won. Now you have these two arms that move over. You can see right here. You rotate it slightly, the arch goes up, and then you insert it right into the hole in the front of the tower. You do that on both sides, and that sets up your front brace, and then you pull it back, and this back rail actually creates all the tightness or tension in the Bimini. Then you have these two clasps on each side. Here's a little close-up look. There's a little lever here that actually disengages it when you want to take it apart or take it down, but you just kind of line it up, pull back on that rail to create that tension, and it pops right in. Do that on both sides, and you're good to go. Simple as that. I'll give you guys a little walkthrough here of just how it looks when it's all assembled. See here, it kind of gives you coverage over the seating area, and it definitely gives you coverage here over the front windshield, but it doesn't really go much further than that. These pulls here insert into the front. There's like a horseshoe. They stub out just past the upholstery here, and then these two arms insert into the front of the tower. And everything is pulled tight by actually grabbing down on this and pulling it down, and it pops in here. And there's these little levers that you can actually disengage and then pull it out. And you can also do the same thing here, and you can pretty much take the whole entire Bimini off by pulling these two pieces out, and you can remove the whole Bimini if you need to. And you can run with just the tower. Pretty easy, simple setup once you figure out how to do it, but it did take us a few tries. Now I can do it by myself, but it's obviously a lot easier if you have someone here to help you. You have the zipper here, so you can reach through and you can get access to your tower rope tie, your light up there. But it's a pretty cool Bimini setup. But now let's get into how to actually put this thing away. You're just gonna do everything in reverse basically. One easy way is to actually pull down on that back rail, and it takes some of that tension off of those two brackets, and it makes the button easy to push. I utilize these clips again because it keeps those arms up out of the way when you end up putting the cover back on. Take these two poles out of the front of the tower. I rotate them a little bit so they kind of fit in line with that metal bar. Pull it back over the top. And again, this is a little bit tricky when you're doing it by yourself, but it's totally doable. I like to kind of bunch it up. That kind of helps hold it in place while I get the cover off the floor. And this is where having that person help you again, which I keep saying, comes in handy. But eventually, if you set it up right and you got the zipper on the side that you're starting on, you can get that cover over and around most of the material. And once you get that zipper engaged, it will start to kind of hold things together. Then I'll go back and kind of feed it across, get everything tucked in as best as I can, and then go back over to the side where the zipper's been started, and I'll just kind of feed it through and run that zipper along, and it's simple as that. One thing that always happens and I always kind of forget about is it getting caught up on the rope tie on top of the tower there. So you saw me there having to kind of untuck it. But once you get that all together, this thing zips together really easy. And you can kind of see, once it's all done, this cover actually covers the whole entire rack and rail, and it hides those arms so nothing's really exposed to the elements. And then you just redo those two clasps over and it secures it nice and tight to the tower. And then now here's just a little overview, kind of looking at how it sits on the tower. It sits in a perfect line with the tower here, and the two straps go over. These are the original straps. They haven't been beaten by the sun or the weather too much. I do keep the boat garaged, but you never know. Some people do store their boats outside, and those things might get a little bit of sun wear. You can see the brackets here inside the cover. Keeps those arms up so they're not swinging around, and it just keeps everything secure while it's inside. You can see here from the front, it's nice and streamlined. And that's pretty much it, guys. That's a full overview of this Bimini and how they set up and how they break down and how I do it by myself. And I'm sure a lot of you guys do it the same way, but I'd still always recommend having somebody else help you. We all know at the end of a long day on the lake, it's probably gonna be windy, we're all tired, we're trying to clean the boat, and then you're up there trying to put the Bimini away by yourself, and it's just not working. So it's something that you can do by yourself if you have to, but grab somebody to help you do it real quick and it'll go a lot faster. But once you have an understanding of how it goes together, it makes everything smooth. So one thing I do like about these Biminis is that they're very simple. They only have a couple moving pieces. You know, you insert the front and you pull down on the back and click, it's done. Once you understand that the Bimini goes over the tower, that helps. And storing it obviously is nice because it sits right behind the tower. So when you're driving on the road, the wind's not beating it up. It's really secure. I've never had any problems driving it on the road. And I believe even today in 2021, they're still building their Biminis like this, and it's unique to MB. I haven't seen other ones do it exactly like this. So every boat's a little bit different. MB Sports does theirs like this. That's why I wanted to make the video on it. If you guys have any questions or want any close-ups or any other details about it, put them in the comments below. And if you guys want to see the full video of this boat inside and out, I'll put the video at the end of this, and you can click it and see it. It's on my page. And speaking of that, if you haven't already, hit subscribe, hit like, share this video, and I'll see you on the next build.